I'm Burt Rashbaum, also a writer, and poet, musician. Um, we get a lot of folks in here, parents usually with extremely disabled kids. And the great thing about this carousel is that it's equipped for a place for a wheelchair. So the chair comes out, you have a wheelchair ramp that goes in. So I was one of these guys who in my earlier life, I had very little contact with kids or adults that were so severely handicapped. Although when I was in graduate school, I had a TA. Guy was brilliant, but he was extremely disabled. He was. I think he was in a wheelchair. He had some kind of a palsy. He was hardly able to talk. Couldn't really walk. But over the course of the semester, we all got used to what he sounded like, so we got to understand him. And he was very funny, which was a shocker in a way, because you think somebody with that disability, how could they even have room in their life for a sense of humor? But it was a good experience for me. But after that time, I was one of these guys where I had very little interaction or contact with people who were severely disabled. I have nobody in my family who really fits that description. And I never sought out such people and gave them very little thought. But working here at this carousel, and I see these families come in, and I've gotten to know a couple of them. Now, I've been here about 6 years now. So I've seen these kids go from 8 or 9 year olds to teenagers. Still, can't speak. This one kid I'm thinking of, he kind of walks, and now maybe he's 13 or 14 or even 15. He has to be carried onto the animal like an infant, And these kids, most of them, even the ones that you see that you would think, there's nothing going on between their ears, my heart kind of breaks for the parents because they're raising these kids. But the kids are really, they're in tune and they're in touch. And I'm able to have interactions with them, even if I give them a thumbs up. I see them laughing going around the carousel. I know it's working on them just the way it works on any other kid. And it's given me a different perspective. My heart still breaks for the parents and the kids too, because I think these kids, although there was one kid that would come in, he was it seemed like he couldn't even move, he couldn't communicate, but he had a screen in front of him. So he was one of these kids that could maybe, I don't know if he uses his eyeball or whatever, he could get a message to his dad, and he would still, I see them having fun. So it's opened me up to be receptive to the fact that, they may look different, they act different, they don't communicate the way we expect communication to happen. You see the person in there, and it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. And I'm glad that I'm part of this thing that enables these kinds of folks to come up here and just spin around to the music and have fun and, spend a day with their kid. And it's, it's powerful. It's powerful.